Hey, real quick, can I talk? Can we just talk for real? I want you to know if you're a Black woman in the federal space and your career feels uncertain right now, I'm going to tell you, you're not alone. I talk to people every day who feel just like you. I'm seeing talented women, experienced women, multiple degrees, years upon years of experience, suffering in this restructuring, suffering that have already lost their jobs. Maybe they felt like they were forced. Maybe you felt like you were forced to take early retirement or forced to take the drip, so to speak. You're not alone, and you don't have to do it alone. I need to say this clearly because I'm talking to you. It's not your talent. It's the way you've been navigating the season alone. Now, I wish I could get to a place, and I probably will, where I depend on my notes a little bit less. But as I'm developing all of this, I want you to just come along because what I have to say is important, and I don't want you to miss it. I've got 3 points. For those of you who don't know, I'm also an ordained minister, seminary graduate, in fact, ordained Baptist minister. And so, you know, you got to make 3 points. And so I will guarantee, even if I only speak with you for 2 or 3 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour or 2, or even 3, I'm going to just expand on 3 points. So today, point 1 is isolation is the real problem. My point 2 is groups create access. And then my final point is why groups work. That's right, the framework around groups. It just works. I didn't always believe that. So come along with me. And my first point is isolation is a real problem. And let me tell you why I know isolation is a real problem. I know isolation is a real problem is because I was one of those kids. No, scratch. I was really one of those babies who felt like always I could do it. I could do it. I could do it. Right. And so there was a time I had made an investment in something. And then I realized it was months upon months of me trying to figure it out alone, that when I finally asked for help, that person that helped me, in fact, it was part of the service that I had already invested in, helped me to do it in less than 10, probably like 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, right? And I just couldn't believe it. And from that point forward, I really changed. In fact, even more so before that, I will say this. I was in a mastermind and I asked a lot of questions. In fact, I was in a similar type mastermind, but it was really more like a doing workshop. And it was the first foundational doing workshop, I would say. It was a 90-day program. It was the biggest investment at the time I had ever made in anything other than going to college. And I came prepared to work. I had 3 screens up. Right now, I typically operate with 2. And I'm sharing this because I want you to understand why isolation is a real problem and what you can do when you decide to get out of isolation. That's right. When you decide, right? When you decide. And so I had 2 screens up in this class and the instructor's on the first screen. I'm over here doing all the things that she's saying. And I trusted the process. I asked questions. I did not care about what anyone thought. And this is the real hook, right? Lean into this. Is that people started reaching out to me because she recorded those courses and they wanted to know all about what I was doing and creating, because in that group of other women, it was for Black women. In fact, I was the first one that had some marked success, right? But I was committed and I did not want to stay in isolation. So isolation is trying to figure it out on your own. Isolation is going it by yourself. Isolation is even, I'm going to just YouTube University, Google, and now AI chat, Claude, Bard, whatever you're using, Copilot, even my way to the solution, but on my own. use all of those tools, but don't go it alone, right? Because all alone, the saying, you've heard this before, is that you can go it alone, right? But we go faster and further together. And I'm really, really paraphrasing that quote, right? But at the end of the day, you can go faster and further together than you ever could by yourself. And when you're doing this alone, everything, can I say it? Everything takes longer. Everything. No applications, more waiting, more frustration in this whole career transition. And you start getting in your own head believing that it can't happen when it really can. And so the issue that you might feel in isolation that you're not qualified, but the issue is you are qualified, but you are going it alone. And that's not the way. Because right now, I can't wait to share this with you. I've got the next 10 videos stacked up, ready to go. I will be dropping this once a week, but this is also what I want you to know. You want to get notified, and I'm going to start exactly sharing these at a certain time. But I want to make sure, because I heard from some of you, you've seen the videos and you've been watching and you've been following me even. Maybe you're even in my Career Forward circle. Maybe you've been in other things that I've done to this today. Subscribe and look for the next video next Friday. That's going to be my pace. So do me a favor, hit the button wherever that is, subscribe, and hit the little bell so you can be notified, because I don't want you to miss anything. So, second point, groups create access. I never believed that. I used to think, like many people think, many of my clients in the past have thought, that one-on-one is the best way. And exactly, it is the opposite of that. It is really, I'll be honest with you, it is really the worst way. Unless you have something really uber confidential that you don't want shared. Other than that, you're going to get so much more from the group. Not only are you going to get built-in accountability, beyond that, you're going to get ideas, and people are going to ask questions and get answers to things that you didn't even know you needed an answer to. And they're also going to open up their networks and their resources and their tools and their availability and their energy to help you. That only happens in a curated community. And that's what I have. You see, I'm already praying for you, but I can't want it more than you. The group creates access. The women I'm seeing move faster right now because of group. They are opening up their virtual Rolodexes, opening up LinkedIn, sending opportunities, introducing people to individuals in their circles, sharing information and tools, supporting in a positive way. And they're in the right rooms because the people that are in my room that I've curated are accessing the right rooms, and they're bringing all of those in our community along. They're having real conversations and real support. They're hearing about opportunities before they hit job boards. They're getting referrals. Oh, I can't tell you. I can't wait to get through my stack of the next 10 videos. And we're going to talk more about that. But they're getting referrals because of the group. They're getting insight, right? That comes beyond just applying for a job. And then the proof, right? Let's just say the proof is in the proving. I've watched women inside my community, our community, get interviews faster, build consistency faster, build confidence faster, get help faster, get into rooms and have access faster, get doors open that otherwise would never be open. That is the proof that you need in order to know that group, right? Group is so important, right? And so groups create access, but you gotta be in the room where the group is. And then the third point I want to make to you today is why groups work. But before I get to that third point, I want to share a little bit of something with you. And I don't want this video to go on and I don't share it. Today is my business anniversary, right? April 17th. I actually, eons ago, in that class that I just mentioned to you a few minutes ago, I was sitting here and the facilitator said, send an email out to your personal inbox and tell them what you're doing and make an offer. And so I did that. I said, look what the Lord has done. And I made an announcement about my business, and nearly everyone that I sent the email to had nothing but positive things to say. In fact, that one email that I sent boldly, right? And I just took immediate action, led me to be able to build my business in 9 months and quit my job. And 6 months later, the whole first 6 months of my business, I never even had a website. And so that one email gave me a wave of momentum. And so I've got some things wrapped up. And literally what I am offering is an anniversary VIP offer. It is a full year of access and a bonus to my live 3-day interview coaching that's happening real soon. If you happen to miss it, you'll get the recording and you'll be able to get in the room and get some real help, right? You'll be able to get in the room and get some real help. And it's the anniversary VIP access pass. You'll have to click the link below in the notes and in the comment that's pinned below. And you've got 1 day, that's 24 hours, plus 5 is about 29 hours and 37 minutes as of this recording. So midnight tomorrow, right? This is going live today. Midnight tomorrow will be the deadline. But you're going to get the Career Forward Insider, a weekly live coaching and strategy sessions, career workshops, and then you'll get also the VIP Insider, which I have so many amazing things planned. It will be a quarterly in-person activity, networking, mock interviews. You're going to get headshots. And this is the thing I love about headshots now. You're going to get headshots, but you can use those headshots that are current to then get them enhanced using AI tools and create a whole photo shoot, right? You'll get a VIP accountability support, and you're going to get access to the leadership circle, which in there is sometimes we'll have an interactive study hall and sometimes we'll have a silent study hall. This is a place where other people are working on similar activities with you. And so I never have done anything like this at this level of investment. And I'm sure I will not do it again. Now, I'm positive that I won't do it again, right? And so I need you to know this. I need you to know that this is your once in a lifetime chance, day and a half, a day and 3 hours, or whatever it is to go before this offer expires. But make sure you look at the comments and all of that, because I spent a lot of time looking at this and listening to people, and it's unlike anything I've ever offered. But I also just want you to know, from my heart to yours, is that I put it together this way so that there would be no barrier to entry. But let's get to the third point. And real quick, okay, and bear with me, because I'm going to get to a point where I'm just going to talk. I'm talking a little bit, but I also got my notes. I think it's important. So the first point I made was isolation is the real problem. The second point is groups create access to networks, access to information, access to support, access to doors opening, access to jobs before they're posted. But in addition to that, the third point I want to make is why groups work. They work. Oh my God. I am always looking for a group. I'm going to unpack in one of those next 10 videos about the secret to my success. So be looking for it. And the only way you're going to know about these things before they come is you got to subscribe and you got to hit the bell so that you can make sure that you're notified. But here's really why groups actually work, right? Can I share? So number one, They share information. You're not guessing anymore about what works and what doesn't work, what industries are hiring. They're hearing about things and sharing it with you. The number two reason that groups work is that you get built-in accountability. And built-in accountability with a group that understands the framework and that it has the similar mindset as you do is priceless. To work in a curated community that is just for you, that is priceless. And then finally, the relationships that are developed from it, people are advocating for you and not just watching you apply, right? They are literally praying with you and for you, giving you tips and insight at the end of the day. And so this is what I really want you to understand is that when you try to pivot alone, it stretches everything out. And I don't know if you've ever had like a rubber band or a hair tie or something. Obviously, my hair is short, so I'm not wearing hair ties. But a rubber band that stretches out, in this case, cannot fulfill the purpose that it was designed for because it just doesn't work anymore. And in fact, a hair tie that is stretched out too far or anything that is stretched out too far can no longer fulfill the purpose. And so you don't want to do that. You don't want to stretch yourself out too far, and then you can no longer fulfill the purpose of getting advanced, getting a promotion, getting hired somewhere else, getting a different job, or getting back to work if you've been laid off. But when you're in a group like Career Forward, you compress time because you're not doing everything by yourself. It is that there's power in the group to move forward. There's power in the group to achieve the goal, right? To lift you up when you feel down. And so I want you to take this one action step, just one action step. If you haven't been taking notes, this is your time. So here's what I want you to do this weekend, this week, before the next video. And I want you to come back and drop in the chat. I did it. I did it. I did it. Right here on YouTube. Drop it in the chat. I want you to reach out to 3 people. Say this. Write it down. I'm exploring my next move and would value your perspective. That's it. Just say, I'm exploring my next move and I would value. That's your action for this week. Just 3 people. But I want you to come back in this space and tell me that you did it. So say this, right? If this sounds like you're sick and tired of being stuck, doing it on your own. It's time to get in the right room. Join me inside Career Forward Circle. I'm waiting for you. And right now you can upgrade to the anniversary VIP offer for a full year of access to everything I've already shared, a space, a room, Q&A, all the recordings, silent and interactive workshops, a quarterly live event. We will also, if you're in the DMV, that's great. If you're not, you will also get access to the details and what to do with the training. And right now you can upgrade again to the anniversary VIP. So don't wait. The details are below. If you know me, you know me. I don't do hard closes. I don't do hard sales. I help you achieve your goals. What I will tell you is the people who trust the process and do the work, they get the results. I'm going to say that again, real slow. The people that I work with who trust the process, do the work, get the results. Period. You don't have to navigate this alone because I'll see you inside. I can't wait to see you inside.